sensors in Osimo's waist measure the robot's angle. It leans slightly to compensate, forward or back, side to side. That's how it stays perfectly balanced in the air. Osimo has been evolving ever since development began in 1986, much like a growing child.
That's the end of my story. All right, thank you very much. Now, these engineers that did this are no more, they don't have 10 senses, they have just 5 senses. Right? But the thing is that they know, they use the right tools for the right job. Okay. So the final piece of video I'm going to show is a new technology in driverless cars that has changed the way driving is going to be done in the near future, where your car can drive you to your location and then come back for you at any time without. And the key thing to note is that they are all done autonomously. When we say autonomous means they make the decisions themselves. So in normal maybe game or maybe let's say a toy car, right? For a toy car, you have a remote, right? And then you drive the car. So you make the decisions whether it should turn left or should turn right. But in such cases, they have cameras in their eyes and other sensors. And then they look at the situation and perform the analysis they are supposed to perform right there and make the appropriate decisions. Right, so we are going to see a driverless car right now. So I want us to note the complex terrains that these cars have to move through. Nobody's in any of these cars. Okay. So, I mean, this is what we all dream to do. Every country wants to have this in their arsenal, right? So, those machines were running Ubuntu. The one I got, which was running, which they showed the internals of the vehicle, was on a different machine. So they're all running Linux. And you ask yourself, why is Linux so important? And that's why we're here today. And I pray and hope that by the end of today, you should be able to do extraordinary things. Right? You should be able to do not just things that everybody does. Right? You should be able to move without pen drives. That is one of the things I always tell my students sometimes. The dispensation of pen drives are over. Right? With Linux, you should be able to do things that an expert in the field will even envy you. Right? So I hope that's your anticipation, right? Yes. Yes. Please, it's interactive, so just feel free. You can interrupt me at any time, right? And ask any question you want to ask. If you don't understand anything, you can just ask. Okay? Right. So feel free, just loosen up a bit, right? So today we are going to look at, I promised you that a doctor from NASA is going to take us through some talks on the use of Linux. My style of presenting now is, I'll show you some complex things first, then I'll bring them down later. Okay? Right, so this is Dr. Damwa. He came here when we were having the ISSL workshop, and he graciously gave, agreed to give a talk on Linux, because even in NASA, all their supercomputers run on Linux. All their supercomputers run on Linux. Right. Your phones, Android phones, all use Linux. Linux is so dynamic that each person in this room can create a version for himself or herself. Like the Asimo you saw, it's just Ubuntu, but they've modified Ubuntu for a robot. Right. The car you saw is the same Ubuntu, but they modified it for a driverless car. Right? So you can also have Ubuntu, the same Ubuntu, but modify it for biomedicals, modify it for image processing, modify it for signal processing, modify it for anything. That's how powerful Linux is. So I'm going to take you through his presentation for today. And please, try and, there are computers in front of you, try and participate. Okay? If you don't have, you can go at the back, just find a machine that has a Linux installed on it. Yes. So please try and participate. I know it will be a bit difficult for now, but that is the art of learning. You know, if you learn things the hard way, it sticks better. Right. So thank you.
Before I went into my work, let me tell you.
So please help put our hands together for although it's here. Thank you. Yes. Just
This is Dr. Richard Damwa bringing you greetings from NASA, Maryland, USA. I welcome you all to this Linux workshop. Today, April 4th, 2015. I'm going to show you how I use Linux for my day-to-day work at NASA. Before I walk you through my work, let me tell you a background about Linux. and then the software like Microsoft Word. Linux made the Linux an open source, meaning he made the source code available to the world. So people started creating different types of Linux. So now we have the Red Hat Linux, we have Ubuntu Linux, and different types of Linux. Before I walk you through my work, let me first give you a little background about Linux. Linux is an operating system invented by Linus in 1994. When we say operating system, we mean a software layer between the hardware of your computer and the software. An example is Windows. Windows is a software layer between your hardware and your software like Microsoft Word. Linus made the Linux open source, meaning he made the source code available to the world. So people started creating different types of Linux. So today we have different types of Linux which we call the distribution. So we have the Red Hat Linux, we have the Ubuntu Linux, and different types of Linux. One of the most important components of the operating system is the shell. The shell is the screen to interact with the operating system. It is actually a command interpreter that executes commands from the terminal or file. Linux has different types of shells. We have the C shell, the bash shell, the core shell, and so many types of shells. Most of Linux commands can be written in a script called the shell script. You can also schedule the shell script to be executed at a particular time or periodically using what we call the cron tab. I will show you some of my shell scripts as well as some of my cron tab jobs. Now I'm going to show you how I use Linux to accomplish some of my project tasks. Now this is showing my website where it has the list of all my projects under the project column. And so let's pick one of the projects and let's see how I use the Linux and its utilities to accomplish some of the tasks under this project. So let's pick project number 13. So when I click on it, this is the page that it takes you to. And so for this project, you are trying to look at the impact of biomass burning on climates and on water cycle in northern sub-Saharan Africa. And so on the website, what I do is I show some forecasts of some meteorological data as well as some particle dispersion model which shows the transport of some of the pollutants from fires, as well as showing some fire as measured by satellite, as well as some rainfall over that region. Now, so let's see if I pick, for instance, ozone, and I click on it then shows me the distribution of ozone from today to the next, I think there is a problem here. So I'm now going to show you how I use Linux to accomplish some of my tasks under this project that I have been doing. And so
if you look at, this is showing my website with all the projects that I'm involved in. Now, if you look at, let's pick one project. Let's see, project number 11. I click on that, it takes me to this page. And so this project, all that we are trying to do is to look at the impact of rainfall over Kenya on airborne diseases. So we have 4 stations in Kenya where we are trying to monitor the rainfall at those stations and correlate it with airborne diseases at those locations. And so what our partners are interested in is they are interested in the rainfall data from satellites at those locations every blessed day. So what I do is I try to give them the satellite data for rainfall at that location every day. So if I click on cumulative rainfall, then I have these 4 panels at those 4 stations in Kenya. So what you see here is that it's showing the daily rainfall over this particular location as seen by the satellite as at April 2nd, 2015, which is yesterday. So these are the 4 stations. And so the black line is what is showing the current rainfall. And so what I do is I have some bunch of shell scripts which I have written, and what it does is that it goes to a particular server, download the data, make the plots, and then put the plot on my website every day. So I have a countdown job which is repeated every day